really talking about today. Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another What Are We Talking About review. It's a special month. It's the month of October, and as we all know, it's the month of fright. What better way to celebrate than to watch some horror movies? So this month I'm going to be doing reviews of a bunch of horror movies I've never seen, 5 to be exact, starting with today on Tuesday and every Tuesday following up until and including Halloween. So get ready for that. The first movie is Train to Busan, a Korean film that was released in July of 2016, and people might be put off by the idea of watching this movie just because it's in another language. You're going to have to read subtitles, but I don't mind reading subtitles if I know that I'm going to have a good experience. I've heard really good things about this movie, and I was not disappointed, I gotta tell you. So I'm going to tell you some of the good things about it, some of the bad things about it, and then I'll give you an overall score. So seeing as how this movie's been out for over a year, I'm going to go into some spoilers a little more loosey-goosey, but I'm going to try and not spoil anything too much. There's not too much you can really spoil anyways. It's a zombie movie. Like, it's better than most zombie movies, but it's still a zombie movie. So to a certain extent, it follows some of those same tropes, which is somewhat of a negative. But overall, the good things that I liked about it was, first of all, the performances. Everybody did a really good job, I think, of feeling like, you know, a real person in this world other than one character, which I'll get to a little bit later. One of the most interesting things about this movie is the movie's, yes, it's a zombie movie. It's about people in a zombie like outbreak, but the movie is more actually about the main character and his daughter and kind of their relationship and the way that maybe the relationship has been strained due to his work, and it's almost a story of him reconnecting with his daughter, and it actually has a surprising amount of emotion to a story that you wouldn't expect to have that level of emotion because it's a zombie apocalypse movie. You don't expect serious, dramatic themes in such a like popcorn style movie, something that you would expect just to, you know, see some people get killed. You learn a little bit about the characters as well, and I think they did a really good job with that. The growth of the main character, and you see that throughout the film. One of the coolest things about this movie is the way that the characters solve certain problems they come up against, whether mostly it's the sequence where they have to make it through, I believe, 4 train cars to get from where they are to somebody that they want to rescue kind of thing. And the way that they get around or through the zombies is actually really, really interesting and genius in a lot of ways. And at one point, they realize the zombies need to see you kind of thing. Like, if they can't see you, they're not going to try and get you, basically. So this is something I didn't think about, but it's obviously, it makes sense once I saw it. They use just a water bottle and newspaper and just squirt water on the window and stick the newspaper to the water to cover up the window, and it worked. And that, like that, I just thought that was a really smart, simple way to do that. And like they do those kind of things throughout the film, which is really cool to see. Overall, I gotta just say, my favorite character, which it might be the same for most people, I'd love to know. I don't really know what any of the characters' names are because I suck with character names already, and none of these names are in the language I speak. So call me ignorant, but I don't remember any of the names. So the person that I thought was the best character was, I'm going to dub him Muscles. He's the guy that his wife was pregnant, and like he's the guy that calls the main character asshole and jerk all the time. He was my favorite character. He adds some levity to this movie, and they do it in such a way where when there is jokes and stuff, they never like have a joke that takes away from the seriousness of the situation. It's done really well and dispersed throughout there, and it's mostly comes from this character. And I really liked him. He is the hero of the story in a way. Like, the main character isn't so much a hero as much as he learns to kind of be a hero by the end, whereas this guy is a hero. He friggin' just fights the zombies with his bare fists. He's a badass. He literally, Dwayne Johnson style, chucks a zombie into the roof. Like, he's just really awesome, and I love that character. It is easily one of the best zombie movies I've ever seen, and a big aspect that makes it so good is because it's not just a zombie movie. It has these other themes and stuff that play into it. So that's the stuff that I really liked about it. A few of the negatives that I had was, so there's a bad guy in this movie that is clear. At first you don't realize that he's bad. He kind of seems like he's like, okay, I'll help us all get safe. But then you quickly realize, no, this guy's just an asshole and he only cares about himself. And he, on multiple occasions, shows that to even the other characters in the movie. And then there's a couple moments where they still trust him after showing his cards. And, I mean, maybe it would happen in this situation. I've never been in a zombie apocalypse. I've never had that high of an emotion where you're so scared and all that kind of stuff at once. But if I was those characters, I would have stopped helping him and trusting him a lot sooner than any of them did. They all continued to trust him way too long into the movie, I thought. And it just felt like that wouldn't actually happen. That people would have been like, okay, this guy's clearly not helping anyone but himself. Let's, let him die or whatever. One other negative I had was that the zombies, I mentioned it already, they when they don't see you, they stop attacking. Like at one point they go through a dark tunnel. As soon as the darkness hits, the zombies all stop attacking the people. But if they hear a noise, they'll run after that noise and try and get it. But it's not 100% clear on exactly what it is. But from what I understand, it's that these zombies need to basically see you to attack you. So what that says to me is that it would be really easy to not be seen by the zombies. Even at one point, somebody puts a jacket on a zombie's head, and the zombie is so confused, doesn't know what's going on, and kind of just almost becomes dormant. So a combination of that, alongside with the extremely rapid gestation period of the virus between being bit and completely turning into a zombie, the longest we saw was only a few minutes, like 5 minutes or something like that. It seems like this virus would not spread. We are just seeing the very initial aspects of it. And so this is believable, this version of the story, but this virus doesn't seem like it would perpetrate throughout the species. It seems like it would be fairly easy to stop. The only reason why really this happened was because of a coincidence where there's a guy that's watching the train. He looks the other way. Somebody just happens to run in, which first of all, why didn't he see him running before they ran in? But anyways, it was just kind of a coincidence that this all happened, and I feel like if this version of a zombie virus actually got put into the earth, it would be pretty easy to survive and to stop it. The only thing that makes it so that it wouldn't be easy is this virus is dead things coming back to life. Because at the very start of the movie, we see a guy hit a deer with a truck, and then the deer comes back to life. So that means no matter how you die, you're coming back as a zombie. So in that aspect, it would be a little harder, I guess, because maybe then it could show up into other places just from somebody dying. That's the thing. We don't know the full extent of the virus. Is it airborne? What? So not necessarily that that's a terrible thing that we don't know all this information, but it could lead itself to exploring it in a future installment or something like that. But I don't know. I just feel like it is a little bit strange the way that the zombies work, and the fact that as soon as they can't see, it's just, there's one scene in particular where the zombies are literally attacking people. Then they enter the dark train, and the zombie is just like, oh, WTF, mate. Now that I can't see you, I totally can't attack you anymore, even though they were holding on to that person. So like I said, there's a couple of negatives there, but overall this is a really good movie, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen Train to Busan, if you don't speak Korean, don't let that deter you, because even though it's got subtitles, it's a really good movie, and it's extremely interesting, and it's got some original aspects to it that is cool to see in a zombie movie. So overall, my score, I'm going to give this movie 8.8 out of 10. I can't quite get it to a 9 out of 10 just because I had a couple issues. But this is one of the best zombie movies I've ever seen. And 8.8 out of 10, that's not a bad score at all. That's a really friggin' good score. And so I want to know, what is your guys' score for the movie? Did you like it as much as I did, or did you like it even more? Do you have a hard time watching movies with subtitles? I want to know. all that stuff in the comments section. But that's going to do it for me with this review. Tune in on Tuesday for another Halloween review. And until next time, never stop getting scared. Peace.
Where do they discuss all the latest movies, or when something big happens in the news? See, that's us. What are we talking about? So what are we talking about?